My name is Amy. This is chair yoga. Sometimes yoga seems like it's just all fancy. You have to have a mat, super cute little tight outfit, and I don't know, kind of fairy-ish and airy, but yoga does not have to be like that. I'm just wearing regular clothes. I've got shoes on. This is yoga if you stay in a chair or if you just don't want to get down on the ground today. All good. We're going to begin just letting ourselves settle in. This is a restorative practice, which means this lets us just take some time and be calm and listen to ourselves breathe. Not always easy in the way we live today. So I'm going to stand up and move my chair just so you can see the back of me. You do not have to move your own chair. So I'm sitting down. I could be on the edge of the chair, but I don't have to be. And I'm sitting up tall, so I'm trying to make my back tall and straight. When I do that, sometimes my shoulders want to come up. I'll just let them come back down. Make sure my feet are flat on the ground. I'm just going to sit here. Sometimes when it's quiet and I'm supposed to be focusing on my own breath, I just start thinking about all kinds of other stuff. So today we'll be counting. That will help us focus our breath. But I haven't told you the most important thing yet. The most important thing is you don't have to do any of this. This is just optional. If you feel like joining in, great. If you feel like staying in your chair, great. You can do it or you cannot do it. So we'll do 5 breaths together. You might breathe faster or slower than me, and that's okay. So you might do more breaths. We don't hold our breath. It's just breathing. So we'll breathe in. 1, and breathe out. Breathe in. 2, and breathe out. Breathe in. 3, breathe out. Breathe in. 4, breathe out. Last one. 5. It's nice to just slow down a little bit. I'm going to move my chair. You'll be seeing this move the chair thing a lot. Sitting up on the edge of my chair. I'm trying to keep that tall seat that we just did. And I'm just going to lift my heels so my toes press down. Oh, you can't see my feet. I'm going to stand up, move my chair back. Lift my toes, my heels so my toes press down. Wait. Let's start over. Feet flat on the floor, sitting up tall. Now, lifting my heels and then lifting my toes. It's just a little bit. Lifting heels, lifting toes. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you can't tell, I'm still bringing my toes up and then down. 5. And I'll let my feet come flat on the ground. We'll just take 2 breaths. 1, 2. So we're working from the ground up, as you can tell by what we did with our toes. And now I'm just going to hold up one ankle, hold up one foot, my right foot. I'm just going to make a circle. 1, 2, 3, stop, and go the other way. 1, 2, 3. Set that foot down, take a breath. 1, 2, lift the left leg, and we'll circle again. 1, 2, 3, stop, other way. 1, 2, 3. Foot comes down. We'll take 2 breaths. 1, 2, and then we'll pick up our hands. We're just going to move our wrists. We can move those at the same time. So lots of options here. We can make our hands into fists. We can make a circle. We can circle the same. We can both go in and out. We can keep our hands big and circle, our fingers spread. There's not a wrong or right way to move your wrist around. So let's just do that for the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sitting up tall again with our long spine. Inhale, 1, and inhale and exhale for 2. Inhale, exhale. Of course, when I say breath, we're doing both, right? We're inhaling and exhaling. We're not holding our breath. So if you're not on the edge of your chair, you might like to be. Sit up tall, just like we have been, and take our right knee, cross it over our left. So in yoga, these are called eagle legs. Sometimes I call them Barbie legs because they're like a fancy little Barbie. Some people are built where they can take this foot and tuck it behind their other leg. Not me. But it doesn't matter because it's all about squeezing the legs together. So I'll press my shin, my heel, my knee, my thighs all together. Pressing, sitting up tall, really squeezing. We'll do it for 5 breaths. 1, 2, also squeezing the belly. 3, 4, 5. That is a lot of work. Let's uncross, sit up tall. We'll take 3 breaths this time. 1, 2, 3. And now cross left over right, or whichever one you didn't just do. Sitting up like a Barbie. Maybe tucking the foot, maybe not, but definitely squeezing. So letting everything squeeze together. Thighs, knees, ankle, and calf. Here we go with our count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One last squeeze, and then we'll release that, let our leg come down. Sometimes yoga can be so annoying, and that's good. That's when your body's working. When you don't want to do that, it's probably good for you, but not if it hurts, only if it's just uncomfortable. Let's do our 3 breaths. 1, 2, 3. So we're still feeling our hips and legs together, and this next pose, another bird called pigeon. So we'll pick up our right leg, cross it over our left. So like we just did the Barbie, this is kind of the Ken, like a Ken doll would sit in a chair. So this top foot is flexed, which means I'm bringing my toes back toward my knee. And I'm sitting up tall, and this could be my pose. Or I may feel okay leaning forward. In my body, I can feel a stretch in this hip when I lean forward. It might be different for you, and leaning forward might not feel great. All about how it feels, not about how it looks. So just do what is right for you. We'll count here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe we can sink down a little lower, stretch a little more forward is what I mean by that, and 5. Just come on up. Let the foot come down to the ground. What I forgot to say, this isn't always accessible for everybody to put their foot up here. So it's okay if your foot's crossed down on the ground, or maybe you have both your feet together and you're leaning forward. So now you know that for the other leg. Let's take a couple breaths. 1 and 2. Now Ken leg or pigeon shape on this side. So left knee comes up, crossing the ankle, putting it on the knee, sitting up tall. Remember, crossing down here is an option. Just pay attention to your body and what works for you. It's great when something's all about you. And we'll flex the foot, bring the toe up toward the knee, sit up tall. Maybe we hinge forward, keeping our back long. I just like to look down at something with my eyes kind of soft. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe a little stretch forward, and then come on back up. Let the foot come down. Let's do our breaths. 2, 1, 2. I meant 2 breaths, not counting backwards from 2. Okay, I'm going to stand up to move the chair. You can see what's happening here. My head's a little cut off. It doesn't matter. What matters is what's going on down here. So we're going to come into what's called downward facing dog. You've probably heard of that famous yoga pose. So I'll just come over here. Hands will be down on the chair. I'm spreading my fingers wide. Just putting my hands under my shoulders. And I'm just looking down between my thumbs. If I want, I can walk my feet backwards and let my head sink down. So this is the feel of down dog. It's weird because you're pushing through your hands and that makes your shoulders come up by your ears. But if you think about it, you can relax your shoulders down a little bit. And we'll breathe here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lift our head, look between our thumbs. We'll just walk our feet back up. Then we'll just stand up. Just going to scoot the chair back a little bit. Sit back down. There's a shape called crescent. It's sort of like the moon, not much. So we'll take our right leg and bring it over so it's pointing to the right. Our left leg is just kind of hanging off the chair and our toe is down but our heel is up. I like to put my hands on my hips and turn them, make sure my hips are going the same way as my knee. So if this feels scary with your leg hanging off the chair, you can just sit on it more. That's fine. You just find what's right for you. I'm just going to keep my hands on my hips. Some people may like to raise their arms up, but today it's hands on hips for me. And this is a crescent shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Staying here, if you want a little more of a challenge, we can lift our arms straight out behind us like we're flying in a cape. We could stretch our head forward, or we could sit up tall. Up to you. We'll just hold this for 3. 1, 2, 3. If your knee needs to be bent here, it can. And then we'll come around, take 2 breaths. 1, 2, and then we'll switch the other way. So our left leg comes out, goes to the left. Our right leg stretches out behind us with the toe up. Checking the hips. Are they going forward? Just checking them, not really yanking them or anything, just seeing. And then, if you want to, your arms could go up, or your hands could be on your hips. And we'll count here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You need to give your knee a break, just bend it. 5. Then, if you want to, arms can come back like a cape. You could lean forward or sit up tall. 1, 2, on back. Sometimes I like to hold on to the chair when I'm moving it around. 2 breaths. 1. 2. So standing back up, I'm going to come into plank pose, scooting the chair a little bit. So just like down dog, I just need to move some of my junk. I brought my watch, but it does no good because I didn't look at what time I started. So we'll spread our hands wide, just like we did with down dog. And we'll walk our feet back just the same. This time, we're going to bring our shoulders up above our wrists. So this is our plank pose on the chair. 1. What if this doesn't work for you? Just keep walking your feet forward. That's okay. 2. 3. 4. Looking down at the chair. 5. And then walking the feet up. I'll just stand up. Let's take 2 breaths. 1. 2. One more thing with our hands on the chair. This one is so nice. So I'm going to keep my right foot forward and bring my left foot back. And my legs are going to stay pretty straight. I might need to bend my front knee a little bit, and that's okay. I don't want to hyperextend it, make it too straight. I'm just going to come down onto my forearms on the chair. Maybe I hold my hands, and I'll just let my head hang down here. So this is pyramid shape. Again, I'm not sure why. Maybe our legs are kind of like a pyramid. We can let our head hang. We can even put our head on our hands if we want to. And it's kind of nice to just look down at your knee and breathe. Sorry, I forgot to count. So we're probably about 3, 4, 5. Now look forward at my hands. Walk my hands back. Take a step forward with my left foot. And then my right leg will go back. Both toes are pointing right toward the chair. Then I'll walk down on my forearms. I like to hold my hands here, but you don't have to. Our hands can be down like this. And then let my head sink. Both legs kind of straight. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Look forward at hands. Let them walk back up. Take a step. Stand up. Let's sit down and we'll take our 2 breaths. 1. 2. So, just like we did before with crescent, we're going to do a warrior 2. So we'll take our right knee, point it to the right. Left leg can come out straight. If you want to be up on your toe, if your knee needs to be bent, fine. Just you decide. And then we're going to lift up our arms and let them stretch out in a straight line, as straight as we can make them. And we'll gaze forward if we want to, over our right fingers, the fingers that are going over our bent knee. 1, sitting up tall, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll come on down, let our hands come down, walk our feet. Let's do 2 breaths. 1, 2. Left knee will turn out. Right leg comes back, and again, it can be right here bent, or it can be kind of out and kind of straight. We'll sit up tall, we'll open up our arms. If this doesn't work, hands could be on the hips totally. Gazing forward. 1, 2. Relaxing the shoulders, letting the shoulders come down. Sometimes they try to creep up. That was probably 3, 4, 5. Bring our hands back down, hold on to the chair, knees forward. 1, 2. And stand back up. So this is triangle pose. So I'm going to put my left foot close to the chair, my right foot just a little bit away. My foot's pointing, we say 45 degrees, doesn't really matter, just kind of forward. I'll put my hand down on the chair and my other hand on my hip. So you can see that my legs are kind of making a triangle pose. And maybe I want to look up over my shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes I think this pose is like a little teapot. I'm just going to go around my chair, but you don't have to. You can just you can just switch. So the right foot will be facing the chair now. The left foot will be a little bit behind. Take our right hand down on the chair, left hand on the hip. Maybe look up over our shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look down at your hand and then just stand back up. Up, down, up, down, up, down, right? So we're just gonna stay up and do one more standing pose, and then we'll just be on the chair, just so you know. So there is there's a shape called dancer. So it could look like holding onto the chair, holding the ankle and lifting the leg up, or even stretching the arm forward. But there's lots of ways to dance and spin. So we do not need to always be holding our ankle. What if we put our knee on the chair? Yeah. We could still lift our arm forward. Or we could even lift up in the air. It's about the feel of it, feeling like a dancer, not about how it looks. Or we could put the top of our foot on the chair and lift our arm forward. So think about what you want to do and just find your dancer. This first one, I'm going to hold my ankle, but you don't always have to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So coming out of the pose carefully and slowly. It's just as important as going into the shape. So if you want to walk around your chair, fine. And now we'll do the other leg. So I just did my left, and now we'll do the right. This time, remember, you can hold the ankle if you want to. You can put the knee on the chair, or put the foot on the chair. Just see what feels good to you. I think I'll stay right here with my foot on the chair. And I'll hold on with this hand, and this hand I'll just stretch forward. 1, 2, 3. It often feels really different on each side. 4, 5. Okay, time to sit down and stay down. Let's take our 2 breaths. 1, 2. Staying right where we are, let's just look at our feet. Make sure they're planted firmly on the ground. Coming back into our tall, straight back. And we'll take our right hand, cross it over. Left hand might hold the chair behind us. And using this part of the body, the torso, we'll just turn and gently look over our shoulder. Sitting up really tall. Our neck is not looking too hard. It's this torso that's turning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looking forward. We'll bring our hands back. The left hand will cross the right. Right arm can hold the back of the chair, or it doesn't have to. Sit up tall. Twist with the torso, the middle part of the body. Look over the shoulder. Being gentle with the neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming back to the center, 2 breaths. 1, 2. I'm going to turn my chair sideways so you can see me. Sitting up in the tall spine, just stretching my arms forward. And then making sure my shoulders are in their sockets. Spread the fingers really wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll lift the arms right up over our head. Our fingers are still really spread. And then we let our shoulders come back down if they creep up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let the arms come down. We'll take our 2 breaths. 1, 2. I'm going to turn the chair. A little neck work, making sure my feet are still flat on the floor, grounding me. We'll bring our chin to our chest. And then do this just as slowly as feels good. Bring the chin to the right shoulder, right ear to the right shoulder. Let the head gently come to the other side. Left ear to left shoulder, chin to left shoulder, chin down. Again this way, chin to the right, ear to the right, roll the head, ear to the left, chin to the left shoulder, and chin down. And now we'll go the other way. Chin to the left shoulder, ear to the left shoulder, head comes around, ear to the right shoulder, chin to the right shoulder, chin to the chest. One more time. Chin to the left shoulder, ear to the right shoulder, head comes around, ear to the left shoulder, chin to the left shoulder, chin to the center. We'll just raise our chin, 2 breaths. 1, 2. Let's lift our shoulders up to our ears. Mine want to always be up there. And then let them come back down. Up, down. One more. Then let's let our shoulders come forward, up to our ears, down. We're making a circle with our shoulders. One more. Let's go the other way. Shoulders back together, up, front, and down. That was 1. Around 2. Around 3. 2 breaths. 1. 2. The last shape we'll make is a forward fold. So keeping our back long, just lean forward, and then we'll let our head come down. Maybe our hands will come down by our feet, and we'll breathe here. If that doesn't feel safe on the edge of the chair, scoot back a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you're ready, you can use your arms, kind of walk up with your elbows, look forward a little bit, and then walk all the way up with your hands using like hands are walking. Then Shavasana, maybe you've heard of that. It's what we do at the end of yoga to just let everything settle in. So I'm just going to scoot to the back of my chair so my back's just resting on my chair. My shoulders are still down. I'm just going to let my hands hang. Some people like to put their hands in their lap, palms up or palms down. Today I'm just going to let them be right here, or I can even hold the side of my chair. So you may be thinking, I have never done anything so boring as this yoga. And I hope you do, because I hope it made you slow down and maybe notice your breath, maybe even making your breath a little bit longer. Do you know that if we just breathe out a little longer than we breathe in, we can make our heart rate slow down, which can totally help when we're feeling angry or feeling anything too much. Just let it slow down. So in Shavasana, we'll do 5 breaths together. There will be a little small bit of quiet. If you like, you can close your eyes. You do not need to. Maybe just find something and look at that that's not moving. So here's our 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If your eyes are closed, you might want to open them now. You might let your head go from side to side. Maybe wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe just take one more breath or two and notice, do I feel any different than when I started? And if you feel a little more settled, good. If you feel really annoyed, also good. It's okay. I'm just thankful that you watched the whole practice. Thank you for practicing with me.